is Nick Skriloff, and I'm the father of 3 sons. When they hit puberty, I knew God had set up a physical transformation marking their young adulthood. But I knew they also needed a mental and spiritual point in time when they were seen as young men, some rite of passage that would help define their God-given unique identity and destiny. So what did I do? So I read about 25 books on everything from money to the Bible, asking the question, if I were to die and pass away, what are the most important things a young man should know? I read grim statistics, like 70% of young people leave the church by age 22. You know, the daily life of raising boys sometimes proved more difficult than being a rocket scientist. I became more convinced of the importance of a rite of passage. But what would it look like? That's when I met my friend Tom, and him and I spent 2 years answering that question.
Hi, I'm Tom, co-founder of Heart of a Nation. At Heart of a Nation, we take the future of our boys very seriously. We believe there are 2 critical questions that every boy will ask himself at some point in his life. The first question he will ask is, what does it mean to be a man? The second question, and perhaps even more important, is, do I have what it takes to be a real man? The ramifications of not answering these questions that are central to a boy's identity, central to a man's identity, are severe. In fact, we see the damage from not answering these questions around us every day in our society as men walk around, but on the inside, they're still boys. I challenge the men watching this video to think back and ask yourself, when you were a boy, when you were growing up, at some point in your path, was there a time when you ever asked, what does it mean to be a man? How do I behave in order to become a real man, to be a real man? Do I have what it takes? Did those questions ever cross your mind? I know they did for me. They did for my partner, Nick, and that's why we founded Heart of a Nation, to help transition our boys from boyhood into manhood, to give them a leg up, to give them some help. We believe that's our responsibility as parents, and that's our responsibility as men in the church and men in our society. You know, throughout history and across the globe, we've seen examples of societies and cultures that have helped transition their boys into manhood. For example, the Spartans in Europe, tribes in Africa, the Native Americans here in this continent, just to name a few, all created elaborate and structured systems by which they transitioned their boys into young men. In fact, there was a clear demarcation where the boy left boyhood and then entered young adulthood. Their responsibilities at that point changed, their identity changed, and frequently even their name would change. What are we doing as a society to prepare our young men for manhood? What are we doing to help our boys transition to the new responsibilities that they will face as men, to handle the responsibilities that they'll face during their teenage years, during their young adult years, in the workplace? What is the message that our media is sending our boys? What are we teaching our boys about what it means to be a real man?
Hi, my name is Nick Skriloff, and I'm going to tell you about the Heart of a Nation program. The Heart of a Nation program consists of 2 major players. The first is the champion, usually the dad, and the second is the youth, usually the son. The Heart of a Nation program takes place over 1 year. It's known as the Year of Blessing, or as a Christian bar mitzvah. It has 3 supporting timelines to support the year. There's the activities, steps, and materials. The first step is the parent and the youth commit to the program. The dad realizes that there are lots of traps in life, and I want him to hear from other men he respects what I wish someone had told me when I was his age. The dad says, I want my son to have a rite of passage to become a young man. Other cultures do it, why not us? The dad says, I want him to have a lifetime board of directors he can call on. And then the dad says, sadly, research says that 70% of the youth leave the church by age 22. The son says, "This sounds great, Dad. It would mean a lot to me if you would do this for me." So the champion purchases the Heart of a Nation program, which has many materials. The first is the handbook. The handbook covers everything anyone who participates in the program needs to know about their role in the program. The next is Dr. James Dobson's Preparing for Adolescence 6 CD set. The next are the invitations for the mentors. These are nice invitations that are on cardstock to be sent to the mentors. The next is the book of 21 topics. This is the topics that my partner Tom and I said if we were to die and pass away, these are the things that our youth have to know. This book is about 200 pages. It's excellent. All the information in the book of 21 topics is recorded in audio form and put on an MP3 player with a bunch of bonus material. And the youth, because they usually prefer audio, will be able to take this anywhere, like on the bus. Next is the Kingdom Service Project workbook for their Kingdom Service Project. And then there's the ceremony section of the handbook. So once they've purchased it, the champion and son go away on their kickoff weekend. And it's their goal to listen to Dr. James Dobson's 6 CD set. And they go to a fun place and listen to those, talking candidly about important topics like dealing with peer pressure, love versus infatuation, the sex talk, and the gifts that God has given the youth. Step 3, they come back from their kickoff weekend. The champion and son send out the invitations to 2 to the 4 mentors. Now these mentors are agreed on in terms of like a mentor draft, where the father and the son, or the champion and youth, say, yes, these are men we respect and agree they would be good mentors. The champion calls the mentors and gets a verbal acceptance from them, and then the invitations are sent out with the topic list, so the mentors can say, here are the topics that I'm interested in, and those invitations then come back to the champion and youth. And you'd be surprised, the mentors say, sure, I'll meet with your youth 2 or 3 times over a year. I have the time for that. Wow, a youth wants me to help be their mentor to young adulthood? And the youth's like, yep, that's right. So step 4, each mentor meets 2 to 3 times with the youth over the course of the year. And they can either read the information because it's all online, or they can listen to it in audio form. The champion manages these 21 topical meetings, and all the information for the mentors and the tracking is available online. Step 5, the youth completes his Kingdom Service Project. This Kingdom Service Project is a time where the youth can do a service project aiding someone or some organization in need. Step 6, the champion directs a wilderness experience where the youth spends time in the woods at least a half a day, reflecting on all he's done and learned. Step 7 is the blessing ceremony, recognizing the youth's transition to young manhood. And it's there that the mentors write a speech or a letter and give an inexpensive but meaningful gift to the youth at this event. And if care is taken, this is such an amazing event. And if you add up all of these, it is an amazing event, seeing a finished, transformed youth recognized as a young man, no longer a boy, launching with a renewed identity and destiny from God. Cool. Thank you for listening.
Well, Heart of a Nation has impacted my life tremendously. It's helped me with a lot of things in dealing with peer pressure and a lot of other things in different ways. My mentors have helped me with that. They've helped me with dealing with my questions that I've had in my life. And when you spend time with your mentor, you go do something special. And some of the examples that I did with my mentors was, one of them took me snowboarding. That was a lot of fun. One took me hiking. I really enjoyed that. And another one took me kayaking. That was a lot of fun. I got wet a lot though. Yeah. And I really enjoy Heart of a Nation and what it taught me and how it helped me in certain places I've never been helped by before. And this is a Christian, wonderful time for everyone that takes this thing, this Heart of a Nation, and it will help you for the rest of your life.
It's impacted my life in many, many different ways. I've had tons of mentors that invest in my life and help me get through the hard times and show us the ways of right and wrong, like why not to cuss, why should we wait to have sex before marriage, and stuff like that. I just think Heart of a Nation is the thing for you. If you need any help, just go ask a mentor, go ask a family member. And I went boating, I went mountain biking, and I went water skiing, and I went cooking. I did so many different things in it. And Heart of a Nation is not some boring thing where you just listen to stuff and you sound like old men talking to you. It's actually like really fun. It's like it helps you do lots of stuff, and it's awesome. That's just sums it up right there.
Go